This tells us that between 67 and 1980, the value of the goods and services produced in the Dallas metropolitan area will more than triple. I think very significant in terms of the potentials for doing the things contemplated by the goal. I think it also very interesting for us to know that as against 15.7% of the product produced in Texas in 1967, this current year we're going to have approximately 17.7%, and by 1980 well in excess of 18%.
I would really like to think so. Because until we get to the point that we can get away from the black and white situation, we'll always have a lot of problems. But unfortunately, I cannot get away from it in this particular situation. For this reason, this whole problem really got going when HEW told the Wilmer-Hutchins Independent School District how the school had to be set up this coming year.
I feel like first we should take care of the prisoners. That is our constitutional obligation. Then second would be the other prisoners. But $7.50 for a federal prisoner, and they have to be separated from the others, I don't think is an exaggerated fee.
Do you have to take federal prisoners?
No, we don't. If we decide that $7.50 is it and they disagree with us, then they can move their prisoners somewhere else. But I'm sure that all the jails in the state of Texas are probably full.
The men looked like they were in good physical condition. That is allegedly a Christmas film. That film, I would bet, a very substantial amount was made in April or May of this year. Because right after Christmas, and we have this feedback from correspondents that have interviewed the prisoners, conditions in the camp in terms of food, medicine, what have you, improved dramatically. The reason they improved dramatically is that the North Vietnamese wanted to get all their options in front of them. This is the reason we delayed our second trip for 90 days. Medical men told us it would take approximately 90 days to get these men in good physical condition. We felt that the North Vietnamese would start right after Christmas to have all their options in front of them, and that after a 90-day wait, possibly they would be willing to let people see their prison camps. Well, the first visible indication of what's happening has just come out in the film that Congressman Zan brought back from Ferris.
Roy, what happened?
I came out of the cellar and went to unlock my car, and there was an explosion. And I looked, and there was glass all over the place over here at the theater.
And then what did you do?
Well, I turned around and told somebody to call the police department and fire department because I saw smoke coming out of the building.
Was there anyone inside the building? Did you see anyone run from the building or anything?
No, I didn't.
I'm opposed to the direct popular election of a president. I think that, to begin with, a number of the small states would not want to ratify it. I think, too, that it gives vast encouragement to splinter parties, and I think that it might be detrimental to the two-party system. I preferred to preserve the control of the electoral machinery in the hands of the states. As far as election expenditure limitation is concerned, this is a bill designed to help the incumbents, and it places a sore and severe disadvantage on the non-incumbent who wants to challenge an incumbent, and I don't think it's fair.
As an incumbent, however, would you favor it in that sense?
No, I don't. I think it's unrealistic. To begin with, it limits the amount of money you can spend on television time, for example, when if you're going to impose a limitation, it should be on time rather than money, because the cost of television time varies from market to market.
I call it lack of concern about the welfare of people, and this has been demonstrated before. I think this is more that than anything else.
Especially in light of the fact, that this is the first time that this has ever happened, not only in the city of Dallas, but the first time in the state of Texas. An appalling distinction for the city of Dallas. And certainly it indicates no concern for people to start this kind of thing here. And I don't think the people throughout the city of Dallas and Dallas County want this kind of distinction.
Do you think you're going to get support from the rest of the community besides the black community in South Dallas? Any of you?
We are getting it all the time. Some of our top leaders have spoken out even this morning on this inequity. Yes, we'll get top support.
The city must fulfill their assurances which were given prior to their receipt of approval, which stated that they would, by the end of 1971, meaning the end of calendar year 1971, approximately 18 months hence, have executed proper and satisfactory management control of land use measures. They shall have put them into operation and implementation, and would have control of the land use in these floodplains to prevent future flood damage.
I don't know what fire official commented that a back door wouldn't have helped, but if he could have got from one corner of that apartment to the opposite corner, had they had a back door, they could have gotten out. And it was stated 5 days after the fire happened by one fire investigator that had they had a back door, they would have gotten out.
Mr. Parker, do you feel that our present laws are inadequate?
Yes, sir, I do. We have some codes here that is in the code that Mr. Gray will read to y'all in a minute and give you the code number, which was adopted in 1968, and you won't find an apartment in Dallas that has them in it.
In other words, you're saying that the codes are not inadequate, just have not been enforced.
Yes, sir.
I think we have been undergoing change for the last decade or more in the university, in its internal constitution, in its image before the public. These changes have not only occurred in Texas, they are occurring around the nation. There have been opportunists that have taken advantage of the change to try to move into areas and misuse the university as a political instrument or as an instrument to apply solutions to society's problems.
Do you ever feel that any of this is communist inspired, as has been brought up?
I don't think that one can say that the resultant effect is entirely along the lines of those who might believe in different ideologies. There must be a great number of people who sincerely believe that change is needed that are a part of these. However, I would not deny the fact that there is a hard core of radicals that are there in our institutions, not for the purpose of for education, but for using the institutions as instruments for which they're inappropriate.
In the time between their first position and up to now, the administration of the city of Fort Worth has been in contact, and dialogue has been open, and there has been much communication between the city employees and the city administration. The package that is being recommended for the employees in the upcoming budget has been improved.
Charlie Napper, how do you like working the new offense that Coach Carlen has installed?
I like it fine. It's going to help our offensive outlook a whole lot. It's going to make us, you can move the ball better with this offense, I feel, than the ones we've had in the past that I've played with, and since I've been playing football. It's just, it doesn't leave you with a third and long situation. It's, you get 4 or 5 yards on every carry. It's hard to lose yardage on it.
Let's go back last year briefly, Charlie. What was the outstanding point of your season?
I'd say his SMU game was the outstanding point of my sophomore year. It was a great experience for me. I'd say Texas game was a great experience for me, but SMU would have to be the sparkle of my sophomore year, I guess you'd say.